legend, Breakin, the original Lockers, Madonna, Luther Vandross, Married with Children, 3-6 Mafia, Oscars. I'm not just saying random words. This guy is related to all of those things. We're talking to him next.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Lives, breaking into.
There we go. My favorite male singer.
Chances are
one of the originals. So Johnny Mathis, of course. Who still perform after performing and everything these days. He's still out there and looks great. Looks great. Hi, welcome to another edition of this show, which is Breaking Into here on Black Hollywood Live and blackhollywoodlive.com. I'm your host, James Lott Jr. You can follow me, of course, on our Breaking Into page on Facebook and James Lott Jr. on all the interwebs. Just type it in. I'm there. My guest, I'm trying not to fan out too much because I've been a fan of his for a long time. He was one of the original Lockers. And now, if you don't know who they are, we're going to show some stuff from them. But those of you who do remember, yes, Fred Rerun Barry was in there. Tony Basil was in there. I mean, they started the whole pop lock thing, which I never caught on. I tried to do it, and I just didn't work for me. I was still dancing the hustle or something. He also, you may know him from the Breakin movies, Breakin and Breakin 2. He was also in Shaka Khan's video for I Feel For You. He's also part of Madonna's tour in 1987 for Who's That Girl, which I first saw you there live with the moving walkway thing you were dancing on. I was like, how do you guys not fall on that? Also did Jimmy Kitty's MTV sitcom and choreographed at the Oscars for 3-6 Mafia, who actually won that year. The Oscar where it's hard out there for a pimp. I mean, he's doing all kinds of things. Great guy, and fellow Torian, as myself, Shabba Doo.
Glad to be here.
Welcome.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
You have a great name, Adolfo Gordon. We love that name, but you're Shabba Doo. That's how we know you.
Yeah. Shabba Doo is my moniker, but again, I was born or named by my parents, Adolfo Gutierrez Quiñones.
I love it.
You know.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, sounds like a dessert.
It does. Sounds good. Well, I was like, sounds good. So yes, seriously, I reached out to him and he said yes. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
I live in gratitude because I get to do this show and I get to meet some people that I really admire, and I felt like you have a story.
Well, thank you.
So thank you.
I when you offered the show, I look at your picture, and I've always been a gut instinct person, and I just looked at you. It seems like such a nice person.
Oh, thank you.
Really, because I wasn't familiar with the show, but again, it was your face and just the energy I got from you, and I said, this is a good show to do. This is a good guy. So that says a lot about you as a spirit, as a person.
Well, thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
Congratulations on this show.
Thank you very much. I love doing the show. I have it on the wall. You guys can't see it. My motto is sharing knowledge, paying it forward, and lifting each other up. That's completely my motto in everything that I do.
And I'm with you on that.
I know you are. And he just had a birthday, just like I did. You fans know I'm still celebrating. May 10th. He was right after me on May 11th. So happy birthday!
Oh, thank you very much.
It's the Taurus spirits.
Cheers.
There we go. So very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have some of that water.
Yeah, it's just water, you guys, this time.
I'm pretending that it's green tea. Is this good?
So when I mentioned that I was bringing you on, a lot of my friends from the dance community I would give shout out my cousin Bobby, who's been dancing for about 20 years. And right now has been doing the Martha Graham method.
Oh, wonderful.
Mostly St. Louis all the time and stuff. Just a fan, told me she loves you. I don't know if you heard of Millicent Marie Johnny. She does a lot of dance too, and around for and teaching dance, and she loves you. I mean, like people out of the woodwork were coming to me and going, "You just tell him that he is one of the influences that I saw coming up in terms of not just traditional dance."
Right. I like to say to those people, I love you too. I really do.
You never know. Is it funny? You never know who you affect. And just your performing, and you could be doing a commercial or something, and someone goes, "Oh my God, I want to do that."
For sure.
Isn't that amazing?
That's one of the wonderful things about the line of work that I do and that we do is that we touch people. Hopefully, I think the bigger credit and the biggest reward is being able to motivate them to do the things that they love to do. And I think that comes across. I think it shows that you love to do what you love to do, and I love to do what I love to do. So. as long as we maintain that love, then we're going to inspire people.
Yeah, I agree. And so I kind of want to start now, then we're going to go backwards. So what are some of the things that you're doing right now? 'Cause I know you're doing a bunch of different things. I mean, you're still choreographing and things like that, correct?
Well, yeah. Essentially, I have taken my career personally. Let's talk about what I'm doing personally. This is my profession, and then it's me, the person. I spend a lion's share of my work, of my life now, motivating and, if I can, helping young people. I think that's our greatest treasure in the world. I think there's two people that's our greatest national treasure, or world treasure even, is our youth and our elderly. So I spend a lot of time focusing on them, giving the attention to the elderly and what their needs are, but also focusing on young people and letting them know that they can do whatever they want to do, and to try and do it in the least obtrusive way, with a level of dignity. Yeah. So I spend a lot of time doing that personally. I travel the world giving seminars, speaking engagements, and offering my master classes. One is locking, original locking, soul training as it was called, and my own style is called shui.
Oh, okay.
And shui, most people say, what is shui?
Yeah.
Shui is, if you take SH from Shabba Doo,
okay, got it,
and you put way, you'd have Shabba Doo's way. So shui.
Okay, got it. I like it.
So
catchy.
my shui style, right?
Yes.
Which is an amalgamation of many different styles. It could be anywhere from salsa to samba, cumbias, African, whacking, as some people call it, and just freestyle.
Yeah.
So I teach that. But professionally, hey, I'm on the hustle. I'm always on the hustle. I create projects. That's where I don't need anyone. I can sit at a computer and I can write my own ideas, put together my own proposals. You don't need anyone. But at some point, after writing down your ideas, you need to sell it. You need to get financing, essentially. So you spend a lot of time seeking financing.
It takes time. Yeah.
It really takes less time creating the idea.
Yeah.
I could get in my pajamas there and have a green tea and write my idea. I don't need anybody. In my mind, I can do the whole movie.
Yes.
But then the real world kind of sets in and says, okay, well, you need money. So I have an independent features. I have reality shows I've created.
Good.
That are at various pitch levels. I've gone to BET recently with the show. Good. So hopefully, knock on wood, they'll say yes. But and I have an independent feature I have right now called Hamilton. It depicts me as an actor. I'll be a hitman in the picture.
There you go. Okay.
Playing a little bit more dangerous than I think my fans are used to, but I think they'll like it.
I like it. You'll be good. The thing is, you don't know this already out there, folks. Sometimes there are things that take a long time in development and production. Yes. You see it on TV or movie or film now, but it may be a history of 5-10 years sometimes.
Oh yeah, one of those 5-10 year leaps.
yes.
Is I've written another Breakin picture.
Oh,
and
hello.
Right? Okay, so I've written the picture, and you would think that would be a natural.
Yeah.
But it isn't.
Okay.
Believe it or not, although those. I say Breakin and Breakin 2 probably collectively made somewhere hovering around $100 million.
They were huge.
$100 million or more. Yeah. You would think, God, it would be a natural to go ahead and make another one. But I'm finding that I have to scratch, tooth and nail to get financing for the film. And I've gone to the Black community. I've gone to the Latino community. Yeah. And I've gone to Hollywood, and Hollywood basically will want me to have my protagonist, lead characters, written as someone other than Black or Latino, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
And so I resisted that, and that's what really taken me a lot longer. Yeah. It's not that I don't see, whites being part of hip hop. They are certainly, certainly, But I want to level the playing field. We've already seen the Step Up films, and we've already seen all of those, and you don't really see Blacks and Latinos in lead roles. Yep. So I want to take it back to when we started. If you look at Breakin, you look at Beat Street, and pictures like Wild Style, Breaking and Entering,
rapping, all that.
All that, you saw a lot more Blacks and Latinos in the lead roles. But as times progress here, You don't see us in those lead roles anymore. So I want to go back to the originators and creators of the culture of the hip hop culture and street dance culture. So
I like that. I like that idea. It's like we need some stuff for ourselves, kind of, and then we should be seen. More of us should be seen, and you're creating a project for us, for everyone.
right.
So why not? I mean, why not? Why sell out to a way of going? Well, okay, I'll change it to this. Like, no, hold on to it. It'll come around at some point.
You know, the thing is, I wouldn't be opposed to a Caucasian male lead. But again, we've seen that movie already, and it's not a true depiction of what's going on in hip hop. They're not the creators of the movement.
No,
I mean,
no.
when's the last time you've seen, I hate to say it, a Caucasian male or female that has created the next dance craze around the world on a global scale? I don't think so.
Nope.
I mean, the last one I saw was like Crumping and so forth. But these are all created by blacks and Latinos.
Yeah, they
so
are.
There you go.
They are.
So again, it's just a reality. It's not what I want to impose. I just want to show a real face on hip hop. Not to say that Caucasians are not real faces in hip hop.
They're fine.
They certainly are, and I love them, and they do great work. I've seen some artistic ones all across the board. And hey, believe it or not, I've seen some black people that can't dance.
Yeah, I know a few that can't.
They can't dance to save
Yes.
their lives.
I know a few that can't.
That also exists.
Yes.
But.
It's the myth is not true.
Yeah. All black people cannot dance. Let's just be clear.
Yes, it's very true. Well, I mean, okay, so let's go. Well, this is a great segue to starting from kind of the beginnings of where we start to notice who you are, because you did dance with a white person,
yes,
who was really well. I mean, now you guys know most of Toni Basil from Mickey and that whole thing, but before that, she was one of the original lockers with you guys.
That's true. The first time I met Toni Basil, you got to remember, you got to go back to circa 1970, 71, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And you didn't see a lot of white people in black clubs.
No, I'm sure.
So I come from here. I came fresh from Chicago.
Yeah.
And I find myself in a club in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And the first thing I saw was this white girl wearing polka dots and stripes and polka dots,
Yes.
and she looked like a NASA test pattern. and I just turned to Campbell Jr. at the time. I was like, who's that crazy white woman running around with with
I love it.
Yeah, and there she was, and eventually Toni Basil was responsible for putting the guys together and organizing us. We certainly were not professionals. She certainly had the professional experience. She didn't teach us how to dance. Most people, let's just make that clear.
Yeah.
Toni Basil didn't teach us how to dance.
No.
And I wouldn't say that she choreographed us in the way that people know choreography to be.
Okay.
It was more like, hey, I got an idea. Why don't you guys dance on this table and eventually wind up over here?
Okay, so you still created the dance stuff.
Yeah.
But she was just like kind of directing.
Kind of directing. I would say that Toni Basil was more of a director.
Makes sense.
Than she was a choreographer. Although she claimed a lot of the choreography credit for what we did and staging for what we did. But I would think rightfully she should have gotten the directing credit, and the choreography credit should go to the Lockers as a team. One thing that I pride myself on as one of the members of the Lockers, and I just want to put it out there.
Please put it out there.
Out of all the shows we did, I'm the only member in the Lockers, founding member, that did every single show.
Wow.
Not one of them could say that. All of them at some point missed a show.
Wow.
But I made every single one.
You're a Taurus, that's why.
Yeah.
I don't call in sick. I don't call in sick.
Right.
I have commitment. I got to do it.
When we set on a mission,
We're on.
we're going to keep going.
Them hooves are in, and we're clumping. We're in.
Right,
we're very earth.
Exactly, and that's where I'm at.
Not surprised at all. So the Lockers were Don, Campbell, Fred. We run Barry, of course, who later on went on to What's Happening fame, and Toni Basil and yourself.
Fluky Luke.
They didn't even mention him in there.
Slim the Robot.
Okay.
And Greg Campbell Lott Jr.
Perfect. Okay. Got the,
And again, I wanted to dispel the idea that Campbell Lott Jr. and Don Campbell Lott were brothers. They were not.
Oh, they were? Okay.
They were not related. Campbell Lott Jr. was named by Demita Joe Freeman.
Joe Freeman.
The grand dame of Soul Train.
Yes.
And Campbell lock, I just want to put it out there as well. Campbell lock is the originator of the locking, the Campbell lock. Now, there's two different things. I just want to clear this up as well. Most people confuse the two. They say, well, you know, Don Campbell is the creator of locking. That's partially true.
Okay.
Don Campbell is the creator of the Campbell lock. But when you talk about locking, now you're talking about a collection of dances.
Yes.
That were not specifically created by him. So there's a locking lexicon, so that is inclusive of many dances like the Witcher ways, the Skeeter Rabbits, the Stop and Goes. There were many other people that were contributors to the locking style.
Got it.
But there's the Campbell lock.
That's his.
That's his solely, and that doesn't really include those other dances. Now, when we also, as the lockers, we certainly utilize all those dance forms. But I want to be clear. Yes, you could say that he created locking, but not locking.
Okay.
The lexicon
Got it.
Of locking.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know, he created a very specific dance style that only, and I'll tell you, there's, out of everybody in the world, there's nobody that has ever done the Campbell lock but Don Campbell. Hence the name Campbell lock.
Yeah.
So it's unique to him.
Yeah.
And all of us in the early days, we strive to be, you know, Don Campbell at some point, but none of us ever made it. We all failed miserably. But what we were able to achieve is our own style. Shabba Doo style, or Campbell Lott Jr. style, or Fluky Luke, or Some the Robot, what have you. But we were unique in ourselves. But Don Campbell was unique because he was the first one to do it. So we have to give a debt of gratitude to Don Campbell for doing so. He's a person that deserves an enormous respect for doing that, as the lockers deserve the respect for creating all those additional dance styles to make locking a full-fledged, well-rounded form.
And I remember I had people down the street at my house. We'd have locking kind of invitationals. You come together and they would like teach you. I was a disco dancer, so I could dance salsa and all that stuff. I could never get locking. I was like, we're good. So I had people who were really good. We're going to show a video.
Okay.
This is your life.
Okay.
We're going to show a video he did. This is back in must be the late 70s?
No, yeah,
Early 80s?
Actually, it was mid-70s.
Mid-70s.
I believe it was around 1973 or 74.
Okay, let's show it. It's only a minute. Let's show that one.
Wow.
When you look at it, what do you think?
It's amazing.
How young you guys are.
Right. It tickles some emotions in me.
Yeah, sure.
We did it. We did it. We actually did it.
Yeah.
I think it's the same feeling that, what's the gentleman that first man that stepped on the moon? That gets the credit for it. Armstrong.
Armstrong, yes.
It's what Armstrong must have felt being the first man to step on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if the people, I don't know if your viewers or listeners can hear us talking.
They can hear us.
Okay, right.
I love it. That's like 75, 76, they said.
Right.
That is hilarious.
You know,
I
would like to just reiterate that watching that film tickled some emotions in me. Yeah. And, you know, the Lockers, fellow members, founding members of the Lockers, we did it.
Yeah.
We actually did it. We did what we had hoped to do. Changed the face of dance forever.
You did.
We just 6 black guys and a white girl.
Yeah.
We weren't just crazy like some people might have thought.
Yeah.
We actually had an agenda and we accomplished the mission.
You did.
And I'm so proud to have been a part of that.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Really.
So I've always wanted to ask this question because you created a new. What are the origins of locking? Like, where did that come from?
Don Campbell lock. Don Campbell lock. Here's
like, where did it originate? Like,
no. Here's the twisted part of it.
Okay.
Don Campbell, by nature, was not a dancer, as we understand it.
Okay.
Matter of fact, he had some rhythm issues.
Interesting.
And was in any other dance
Couldn't get it.
uncoordinated. Yeah.
Wow.
And so this man, who, for whatever reasons, from God's lips to his
I'll
ears,
say divinity. Something happened.
he stumbled upon something that worked for him, that was unique to him.
Yeah.
And it was so unique and so bizarre at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, you never had a person,
No, I'm saying,
moving in that way. There's no
No.
dance like it.
Where you separate body parts.
Well, no, okay, that's popping, for instance. But let's say, locking in itself, it has this sort of Keystone Cops, Bowery Boys,
definitely.
slapstick feel
Yeah,
to
it does,
it.
yeah.
And all wrapped in this sort of funk bundle.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And
yes.
so you got this guy who can't do the funky chicken, or the popular dances of the
Mashed
day.
potato or
And
whatever.
but what happened was something else was created from this inability, if you will.
Yeah.
And he created the Campbell Lock. Now, it was a evolution that took place. It wasn't like he created it overnight. It wasn't like he said, "Oh, I'm going to create locking,
Right.
Tonight, and tomorrow I will present it." No, it was incremental over time.
Yeah.
A split here, a knee drop there, a point here, a hat turn, there, a well-placed hat turn. He would look people in the face in the clubs and point at them. It was like, so the points that you see in locking wasn't just some random points. It was an acknowledgement that, hey, I know you think I'm cool, and I know I think I'm cool, kind of point. So he would do his little kind of, shaking and lock it, and he'd see you look at him, he'd point at you. Like, hey, wasn't that cool? And then to kind of top it off, he'd spin his hat around and do a split as a kind of punctuation of that understanding between me and you. So we, as the people that were influenced by him, would notice he had this connection with the audience. So we began to pick up on that and do it in our own way.
Got it.
But we were influenced by that.
Wow.
And so it just, again, locking, as the world come to know it, was something incremental, and it was became a stew, if you will, of many dance
It's
styles.
just so amazing. Like you said, when people start, because I was very fortunate enough to be of the age to watch all this happen, and as well as the birth of hip hop and R&B. I lucked out. I was born the time period I was born.
Right.
To see Melly Mel and them come out with stuff, and Curtis Blow and you guys doing stuff, and it was just like it was a beautiful time, and Run DMC and all that. It was truly a whole new genre.
Yeah, it was hip hop's renaissance period.
Yeah,
it was our golden era.
And it felt real too back then.
Yeah, it was, and it's not to say that it isn't real today. I think that maybe it is.
Yeah,
but it's a different kind of realism. And I think that why hip-hop, street dance, was so endearing to people is because it had a sense of hope, its sense of tongue-in-cheek. It was fun. It was new. It was innocent. It was pure.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it's been muddied, and it's not pure. It's not happy. It's not joyful. It's not giving. It's about beating your chest. It's about, look at all the things I have. It's about, denigrating women.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's for them to say the kind of things that they say about women. I think they forget that those women that they're talking about people's daughters, people's mothers, someone's sister. Again, rap, if you will, we focus on that. It was about elevating the consciousness of the black man, of the community. Yes. It's about saying, okay, we are someone, and we can do more than what our meager and grim, dire surroundings suggest that we are. We're more than that. And so it had that sense of hope, and it also had this sense of magic. It was kind of like when you did a dance move, they were leprechauns.
yeah. Leprechauns in the Hood. I saw that movie.
Genies and things.
Yes,
we were magical.
Yeah.
When I walked through the neighborhood, I felt a sense of pride from my people and that I had for my people. When we all danced, and I just want to say this, when we performed, I think that's across the panacea of hip hop street dance. I think we did it for more than ourselves.
I believe it.
It was an unselfishness. So when I danced, I didn't just dance for myself. I danced for my entire neighborhood.
No, I believe
for
that.
For all my people. I was dancing. No,
I believe it. I totally believe because even the songs back then were like that too.
Yeah, and I felt like I had Martin Luther King
on your
coursing
shoulders
through my veins. I really did.
I believe that.
I felt special in that way.
Because dance is great. Because dance is acting.
Yes.
Dance is the musicality. Everything's happening in every movement that you do. And you're right. There were times I've seen dances that made me cry. I've seen dances that made me laugh. It's like dance is a great thing because it does match music and acting and this and that all together.
Right. That's true.
And movement. I love that about dance.
Me too. I love that about dance, but it has moved. It has shifted. That's not necessarily true today.
Yeah.
Dancers now are about shock value. It's shock and awe. Here's a different kind of conversation, just to give you a scenario. When I meet fans and I talk to people about dance, they talk, as you just stated, they talk about how my dancing or dancing like others like myself made them feel. Like, you make me feel good. You made me laugh. You made me cry. You made me bring joy. You brought joy into my life. Now they say stuff like this. Hey, man, did you see that person dance? Man, he took his head off. He took his head off? Yeah, he broke his arm. He broke his arm. Yeah, he jumped off the building, landed on his head. Wow.
Yeah.
I bet you did that once.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's sort of emotionally removed. And it's about these tricks and, where's the dance at? We're about where the music makes you feel a certain way and then you kick that feeling out to your audience and they join you in your quest.
What do you think about shows like So You Think You Can Dance? What do you think about shows like that?
I think that shows like So You Think You Can Dance are great on one hand because they broaden the dance enthusiast market.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
But on the other hand, I think they sell a false bill of goods. I think that they tell a dancer, hey, you come on our show, you win this season, you become a star.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true because I go around the world and I ask students all the time. I got to ask you, who was season 3 winner of America's Best Dance Crew?
I used to watch that too. I can't even tell you.
Who won season 4 of So You Think You Can Dance?
Right.
But yet you're sitting here today and other people know me and I've been dancing and has enjoyed a professional career for more than 44 years.
Yep.
Approaching 45 years.
Wow.
No, actually 45 years. I just turned 61.
Yeah.
So 45 years, I'm still here and people still know my name.
True.
So it's not based on a television show or a moment or a season. You get to where I'm at, and people like myself and Tony Basil's and the Don Campbell Locks and other creators on the East Coast, Rocksteady Crew with Crazy Legs and whatnot. You don't get to where we're at overnight.
No.
This home is built over a lifetime. So again, So You Think You Can Dance is great, but in context, again, I'm gonna address you people out there. So You Think You Can Dance, America's Best Dance Crew. Think of it in this way: it's cotton candy.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment, and it's fluff, and it's wonderful to watch. And I enjoy cotton candy. And when I watch So You Think You Can Dance, I enjoy it.
Me too.
I have enjoyed it, but I don't think that. But going on that show, you're going to become a star. Most of those people go back to working at Ralph's. That's just the reality.
That's reality. That is reality.
Yeah.
You got to make it happen.
I often said this. The only person, the dance crew that we can really remember are the Jabberwockies.
Yes.
Right? But here's where we're at with that. Who's behind mask number 3?
Right. Don't know who it is.
You know, so that's just a mask.
Yes.
Those,
Yeah.
you know, Jabberwocky is just a group of people with
Right.
masks on. I
Right.
don't know who's any of those people. I mean, I
Right.
know that there's a person inside those
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse uniforms at Disneyland.
Right.
But it's Mickey Mouse we see. We don't see the human making Mickey Mouse work.
No, we don't.
So, again, street dancing taking a step back. It's about, what about our recognition for our real work? They know my face. You know Boogaloo Shrimp's face. You know Crazy Legs' face. You know Tony Basil's face. You know the
do,
Lockers.
yeah. Mhm.
You know Poppin' Pete, for crying out loud.
They
from
know
the
Tommy the
EBs.
Clown's about Crunky.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
Tommy the Clown shows and
You-
everything, and they know him.
You know tie-dyes.
Yeah,
You know
right,
these people.
right.
We're not hiding behind a mask. No.
No. I love that. Now, speaking of that, we're going to talk about a very commercial period for
Right.
you. That was, I saw in the theaters, and I have the soundtracks at home. We're going to show a scene from the first Breakin.
Okay.
This is the 80s, folks.
Ooh, there.
Love the outfits.
Yeah. You know that's our own clothes.
Oh, wow.
That's not wardrobe.
Okay.
That's our personal clothes.
Oh, wow. Funny.
I actually used to wear that outfit going to the laundromat.
Oh, I
You know,
love
if you
it.
can imagine going to Ralph's
I-
to pick up your vegetables and you find a guy like me standing in the vegetable section.
Here it
That's
is.
me.
Here we go. Here we go. Break it off. That's right. I
Yeah.
love it.
There's Poppin' Pete I was referring to right there.
This is the first battle of Electro Rock.
Right.
I love it.
That's Poppin' Taco.
I love it.
Poppin' Taco was actually part of my crew, the Shabba Doo crew. So was Boogaloo Shrimp. And so was Anna Sanchez, the female.
She's good. Yeah, she's on here. She's good.
Yeah, the Puerto Rican
there
girl.
There she goes. I love her.
She started off being my partner, my dance
Look at her.
partner.
She's
She's
the
my
bomb.
student, my former student as well.
Funny.
Like I taught her that swacking there. I
Oh,
taught
I
her
love
that.
it. I remember her from the movie because she was good. Look at that.
Well, all these people here, I introduced them to Tony Basil too.
Funny. So we just want to show people that, I mean, you can go rent it or whatever, find it somewhere, break into the sequel. You guys weren't around this time. This was big stuff, and I remember I saw it in the theater. I think I saw it twice. It was all my friends. We all went together, and it was it made lots of money.
Oh yes, it did.
You know,
It actually won at the box office. I think we were in what was called the Breaking Battles,
Yes.
film battles. I think
Yes.
Sidney Poitier had one.
Yeah,
That come out. I think it was called Fast Forward.
Yes, there's like that,
And then
yes.
you had
Then Rappin'
you
came
had,
out,
No, you
and-
had Beat
and
Street,
Beat Street came
and Breakin',
out.
but we all came out at the same time. Rappin'
Yeah.
actually came out
A little
after.
later? Okay.
Yeah, and there's a whole story about the Rappin' too. But in any case,
yes.
at the box office, Breakin' hands down triumphed at the box
Yeah,
office.
I remember it was huge. It was huge.
We certainly made more money and had a longer run than all of those other pictures.
So what was that time like for you, though? Because now you're being recognized by Middle America and folks outside of the street dance community. I mean, how was that for you, that time period?
It was.
And it was the 80s, too.
I was treated like, in Boogaloo Shrimp, we were treated like the Beatles.
I believe it.
I remember we went to a number of, like Disneyland, or what I think it was even Knott's Berry Farm, or maybe it was Six Flags, but we were escorted out of the place because we would cause riots. They would pull our hair and our clothes, ripping at our clothes and whatnot. So it was a crazy time.
Sex symbols.
Yeah, definitely.
A different kind of sex symbol, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. You know, at that time, they were sex symbols that they on Right On magazine.
Right on a black beat. Those are my
Right,
two I was
the
reading at the time.
most eligible bachelors was Shabba Doo, Prince,
Oh, yeah, Brit. May rest in
and
peace.
Michael Jackson,
Yes,
rest in peace,
yes.
and I think it was Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah,
And I think
Oh,
Warner from The Cosby Show.
yeah, Michael John Warner,
yeah,
yes.
Michael Jamal.
And also remembers New Edition, too. Remember New Edition was
Right,
always
but we
in
were
there.
on the cover.
Yeah, you were on the cover. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
as
right.
the most eligible bachelors. So there you have it. And I thought that was odd because at the time I was married. Which is, how could I be an eligible bachelor? I was
jeez.
married to Leela Roshan at the time.
Yes, you're married to her. Great actress. Of course.
Right, and who's now, I assume happily married to Anton Fuqua.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
she done well.
Yeah, she did good.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so
That's so funny.
She's a lovely lady. She's always been a lovely lady, and she was in Breakin' 2. She was also in Breakin' 1, and great gal. I have fond memories of her.
Oh, good. Yes.
She's a nice person. I wish I would have been a better guy in those days, but
Hey, things happen, right?
yeah, there you go.
But it's just funny that time period, because I'm saying it was a really big time period, and so did you just go out and have a great time, just like handle it all? And did projects start coming your direction?
By the bushels.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Didn't have to work for it at all.
Wow.
I have, to be honest, my career has been a storied career. When I think back now, I really didn't struggle that much.
Okay, well, that's good then. Okay.
I don't really remember auditioning per se.
Wow.
I did audition for Breakin. I went to, my initial meeting with the producers, Menachem Golan and Yoram Globus, was to choreograph the film Breakin.
Oh, okay.
I was originally signed on this other film called Body Rock.
Body Rock. Okay, got
which we now affectionately refer to as Body Flop.
yes, I hear
that was. But then I was going to be the lead in that picture.
Wow.
That was with New World Pictures, and they called me into a meeting and they said we've had a creative meeting.
yeah.
That's when whenever you hear that we've had a creative meeting, you know you are in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they said that they wanted a guy that girls would like.
Oh, how fun. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that kind of floored me a little. I was like,
Yeah.
I had to, step back a minute. I say, a guy that girls would like, it was like, yeah, we want to kind of heartthrob. Anyway, they got Lorenzo Lamas. I guess girls really like him.
Well, actually, he isn't done too bad for himself either.
Yeah. He was a sex symbol.
Yeah, he was back then, yes.
A lover boy.
Yes.
Any case, I go and I meet with Menachem Golan to choreograph the film Breakin. We were currently on tour, or about to go on tour with Lionel Richie. Because I choreographed the video all night long.
Oh, I have heard that, yes.
Yes. So if you look at that cast,
Yeah.
all the members in that cast are in Breakin. There you go. And my series on the NBC, The Big Show, all the people in there are all in Breakin.
I like it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
all of them are in Breakin. When I did Breakin and Entering, all those people, they're in Breakin.
That's so funny.
If you follow Shabba Doo, you follow my breadcrumbs.
The Village.
I hate to talk about myself in the third person.
I know,
If you
but
follow
well,
Shabba Doo,
well,
if you follow my career, then you will see the breadcrumbs
Yeah.
with a lot of these dancers in their careers,
Good.
and you would see
I like that.
I was in a position to be able to afford opportunities for them, and I certainly did, and launched their careers. But
And they delivered for you each time, so that's what's good too. That's the main thing. They delivered for you.
Yeah. So essentially, now we've gone off on a tangent, and I've forgotten what I'm talking about. But I'm sure we'll get back to it.
So some of the quick things I want to talk to you about, because you're gonna have to come back and do like a part 2, part 3 with me. We got so much more to talk about. I'm gonna show a clip. I saw Madonna in concert. I've seen her 7 times over the years. The first time I saw her was for the Who's That Girl tour in 1987, and this gentleman, here's a piece of that.
Madonna's awesome.
So she was good to work with?
She was awesome. No, and I look at her right there.
Yeah. There you go. Look at you. There you go.
She was just awesome.
Was she like just really open to ideas? Like, okay, let's just make this the best show ever.
Yes.
Kind of thing?
Yes.
I believe that with her.
And one of the most hardest working people in show business.
Oh, I believe it. To this day, I still believe it.
She was incredible to work for. And to work with. I didn't actually work
that's
for
why,
her.
That's why I said
It was a collaboration.
I believe it.
I was, if not the only dancer that's ever danced with Madonna that got billing.
Oh, wow.
See, you got to understand, this came right after Breakin', so I, in many cities, had just as big, almost as big a name as Madonna.
That makes sense, yes, that makes sense.
You would see headlines, Shabba Doo makes Madonna move, and things like that.
But see, I knew you were part of it because it was big news. It was big news you were part of the tour. I mean, I remember my first he's in the tour and he's all over it and dancing different parts with her.
Yeah, I introduced Madonna to whacking, the whacking style, which I helped popularize.
Yeah.
I brought the dance. Whacking started in the gay community in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I kind of brought it to the heterosexual world.
Right.
I often jokingly said, I'm the father of the first bisexual street dance form. But
we know what you mean by that, of course.
What I mean is I took the there was a sister act to the locker movement in the gay community in Los Angeles. And what I did was I took this form, which was referred to as punking, posing and punking.
Oh, yeah.
And some people, I was told it was called garbo. You know,
I've heard that. Yes, I've heard that. Yes.
What I did was I just kind of infused it with this strong, locking, heterosexual gene.
Yeah. I get it.
And it produced another form of the whacking style that the world eventually knew. They never really saw the gay version, not the world.
Right.
The world saw the version I introduced. By way of Tony Basil's show. I was moonlighting between the lockers, and when Tony Basil left the lockers, she did a series of cutting edge musicals.
Yes, she did.
Follies Bazaar.
Yeah,
she did another show at the Roxy, which I was the lead in. I was the male lead.
Yeah.
I played Babyface, doing this new form of whacking, this kind of locker infused version that gave it a little bit more grit that it didn't exist at the time. So the world has come to be to know the form that I introduced. You saw it in Breakin too. I did it in Breakin. You saw Anna Sanchez as part of electro rock doing it, and I taught her that style. So there you have it.
I love how things are birthed out of other stuff. I love that. That's the creativity part that I just admire so much. That you do that. So we have the 3 pictures. I want to show him. I want to quickly get his opinion when he looks at the pictures. What comes to mind? So that's the poster for Breakin, of course, the film poster. When you look at that, the 3 of you guys, what do you think?
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing a one-word association, the first word I would say is magic.
That's a great poster too.
Yes. I tell you, initially when Lucinda Dickey was introduced to the film, I resented it.
Ooh, okay.
I was like, "Who is this white girl?
Yeah,
she doesn't know anything about street dancing."
Right.
So you understand that I also said it in the movie.
Yes,
but actually, Boogaloo Shrimp said it. Ironically, he said, "She don't know nothing about what we do." So we actually felt like that.
Wow.
In real life.
Wow.
We looked at her and we just like, what is this white girl doing in this? Because we knew in the street dance and hip hop, burgeoning hip hop culture, that this wouldn't exist. The only, again, Tony Basil was an anomaly.
Yeah, that's an anomaly.
Right. That's an anomaly.
Yes.
So we didn't think that there was going to be another white girl that could rise. I would say, looking back, that probably some of the writers' influence came from their understanding of Tony's being in the locker, Tony Basil being in the lockers, and probably got the idea, hey, well, white girl really dance with a group of black guys.
Yes.
It wouldn't be outrageous if we have a white girl dancing with Ozone and Turbo.
Yeah. Show the next picture. You guys a reunion from 2010. So it's just like a reunion of you guys.
Where'd you get that?
I find things. I got people.
Yeah, well, you're very sneaky.
Yes, I have people, but that's great. You guys are together. Obviously, Freddie Rumberry was passed by then.
I look at this picture.
Yes.
And it breaks my heart for 2 reasons. Okay, and I'll tell you why quickly. One is Rerun is not there.
I know.
And he was such a spirit in our group.
I've heard that. He was just period.
He was funny. Yes. He could dance his behind off.
Yes.
And, we all love Fred Berry very much. Yeah. We call him Mr. Penguin.
How funny.
And so Mr. Penguin, we love very much. So that breaks my heart that he's not in this photograph.
Yeah.
The second one is, you see the guy where I have my arm around, one pointing at us?
Yeah.
That's Greg Campbell-Locke Jr. Greg Campbell-Locke Jr. was my mentor. I was the youngest member of the Lockers.
Oh, okay.
I was the Michael Jackson of the Lockers. For lack of a better comparison. But essentially, I was the young little, curly haired cute boy, and there you have the Lockers. But Campbell-Locke Jr., this night we were receiving an award from Carrie Isaias and the Choreographers Carnival for our outstanding contribution to dance. Campbell-Locke Jr. went to the restroom that night and fell and died.
Oh my God, he did not know that.
Yeah, he was walking with a cane at this time. And
okay.
His walking was unstable, but he also was suffering from diabetes and a whole bunch, and asthma. He's always had asthma.
Okay.
And he went to the restroom and he said he'd be right back. And he was, the guardrail in one of the stalls where you use that to kind of hoist yourself, lift yourself up.
Yeah.
Well, it broke off. And he slipped and hit his head on the on the toilet paper roll,
Oh,
the holder,
yeah.
the metal,
Oh, yeah.
metal
Oh,
one in
yeah.
a nightclub, and this golf ball sized lump formed over his eye.
Yeah.
And then he was ushered, quickly ushered, outside. And there was Tony Basil, me, and a couple of others. I think Flowmaster is his name. He's a b-boy by fame, but he does some locking now and so forth. I think he danced with Usher. Anyway, we were there, crying like babies because we all love Greg, you know, and Greg meant a lot to me. Greg was more than a mentor. He was like a brother.
Yeah.
Growing up, he and Fluky Luke, the one standing next to him, is the one who married my sister Fawn from Soul Train, the one with the blue cap.
Yeah,
on.
how funny. Okay.
They were introduced to the Jehovah's Witness organization, and they became ministers as Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, okay.
So my mom has been a Jehovah's Witness for almost 50 years.
Wow.
And so she introduced these two. And Rerun used to also study as a Jehovah's Witness.
I know that. Okay.
I think Scooby-Doo did, but I know Scooby-Doo from Soul Train was never one of the lockers, but he was certainly part of that
community
locking lexicon that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo, I think, married a Jehovah's Witness. He's married to a Jehovah's Witness right now. I was raised, as they call it, as is termed, raised in the truth. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
So I have some mixed emotions about that.
Yeah.
There's a whole nother subject about it, and I don't want to get into Jehovah's Witnesses and what I think that there's a misconception about Jehovah's Witnesses in the world, what we are, and calling Jehovah's Witnesses cult members and so forth. I would say this: Jehovah's Witnesses, from what I know to be true, not from what you read in magazines and the jokes they make about Jehovah's Witnesses in movies and on television, we happen to love God very much, and we respect God very much, and when we respect all life, and we respect other people's decisions that they make for themselves. Sometimes we get into some sort of exchanges with people when we might quote different scriptures from the Bible and believe that we need to follow those scriptures. But in no way do Jehovah's Witnesses, nor myself, nor my mom, nor Greg Campbell Jr., or Fluky Luke, or any other Jehovah's Witness that I am aware of and that I've seen with my own eyes, have ever talked down about other people's choices that they make for themselves. We love all people. We respect all people. We know, being as a Jehovah's Witnesses, we know to respect God in his position. God is the judger, not us. So again, please, if you want to know about Jehovah's Witnesses, then you should talk to a Jehovah's Witness. You should study if you want to. Prince himself became a Jehovah's Witness for good reason. Now, everybody touts him as being a genius in music. Well, why does his genius stop at the understanding of God? Why did his genius stop there to people? No, he saw that once you reach a pinnacle of fame in Hollywood, which I have and certain other ones have, we know that there's something much, much more than fame. There's something much, much more than riches and so forth. So we want to serve God. I want to serve God. I'm not totally living my life in accordance with God at this point, but I have a lovely fiance. Her name is Claudia.
Hi, Claudia.
Yeah. Hi, Claudia. And we plan to get married soon.
Okay.
And we both love God, and we both seeking to please God in the way that we can. And that doesn't mean that we don't love other people. So don't start treating us like we're some kind of weirdos.
Right.
I'm not a weirdo. I'm not a fanatic.
No.
I'm not gonna, I'm not a Bible thumper and all of that stuff. Again, you hear from me. I love you. I don't judge you. Whatever you choose to do with your life is the same sort of rights that I have, that God has given me and you. If there is any situation that might come down, let that be between you and God, not between me. Yep. I'm not in that. Yep. I'm busy trying to clean up my life so that I can live my life in accordance with God's will, with Jehovah God's will, and that's all. So,
Okay, very good.
I also want to state that I'm not a baptized Jehovah's Witness, so don't look at me and say, "Well, I seen him out the other day and he acting like a fool."
At the club.
No. I'm still trying to bring my life into accordance with God's will. So, there is some moments where I will stumble and fall, as we all do, fall short. We'll all fall short of God's glory. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that out.
You're welcome to do it on my show anytime. Now, I'll show one more picture. This is actually one of the original pictures.
Yes, it is.
So look at that.
Well, you see that hat I'm wearing there?
Yes.
One of the big influences as a kid growing up, one of the greatest shows, characters I've ever seen, were the Three Musketeers.
Oh, okay.
And look at that hat.
Yep.
It's like D'Artagnan.
Yeah, it is.
So I wanted to wear that hat like D'Artagnan, like one of the Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
And if you look at even my outfit that I wore in Breakin,
yeah,
that is a combination of a few different influences. One is Cab Calloway, the great great late Cab Calloway,
yes.
which I love and adore.
Yes.
The other one is Zorro.
Yes, Zorro.
Okay, for me, the coat was my cape.
The coat.
And the hat, I had everything but the mask.
You
okay?
did kind of. That's so
yeah,
funny.
if you think about it.
Yes, you did.
And it still also had a little bit of the sort of musketeer influence in there.
Yeah, it is in
so,
there.
yeah, I always saw myself from that point of view.
That's so funny. So it's just the three pictures I had. I just wanted to kind of see what you
The
did.
lockers.
Yes. Now, I just, we have to end soon, but I want to just ask you a couple of things quickly, kind of get some feel about that.
Okay.
I Feel For You video. What do you think about that when you think about it?
It brings great emotions in me, that Feel For You. Now, I didn't want, let's say, Lucinda Dickey.
Yeah.
But I remember that whole time, and I'm so glad that she was part of the film. In the end, at the end of the day, I was wrong. She brought something to the table that gave us, again, people need to see hip hop in themselves. If they just saw it as a black or a Latino culture as it started out, they wouldn't see themselves.
That's true.
So she brought that broader view of the culture. So it was wonderful.
Something we wouldn't really know about Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy, Menounos.
Maria Menounos, our boss here.
The boss here.
Yes,
I
Maria
had
Menounos.
the pleasure working with her. She was wonderful. She's a wonderful. She really is. That's not no jive. She's a really good lady.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to work with. We worked on Kicking It Old School, which I served as dance director, a choreographer. And she was the love interest, Jamie Kennedy's love interest in the picture.
I love it.
She was such a delight.
That's cool. The 78th Academy Awards, you actually choreographed the whole thing for 3 6 Mafia's Hard Out Here for a Pimp, which won the Oscar that year.
Well, let me clarify that. I didn't choreograph the whole thing. What I did was I worked with a wonderful choreographer, and he's a good friend. I like to think of him as a good friend. And a collaborator at that point, Keith Young.
Okay.
Keith Young and I decided to work together on, which was his idea. He said, he saw The Big Show, my series I had for NBC.
Yeah.
And he saw these huge production numbers I did. And he said, I would like to do something like that.
Okay.
And so we decided to collaborate. Now, I had an associate choreography credit.
Oh, okay.
I also served as the lead in the piece. I played the pimp.
Yeah.
Taraji Henson, bestowed this, the medallion on my neck and said, "You shall be the king pimp." And it was kind of weird because when she did that, I cut my eyes over it and looked at Terrence. I was like, I said, "This is bizarre." Taraji Henson is putting this necklace on my neck, and there is the pimp sitting in the audience, and I'm playing the pimp.
Yes.
And before that, which you don't know behind the scenes.
Yes.
Taraji Henson asked to see me, and she called me into her dressing room and said, "Oh my God, you've been a big influence to me my whole career, and starting out my career rather, and I owe a lot to you," and just gave me this homage in her bedroom. I mean, not bedroom, in her dressing room, and says, "Thank you so much." She was like a big giggly fan, took pictures with her and all that.
Oh my God, I love Lisa Taraji.
She's a wonderful lady as well.
I heard she's very wonderful.
Yeah,
personally.
She's so real.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, she's
comes
a real
across that
person.
way.
Oh yeah.
So it comes across that way. I love that. I mean, you have so many just... I mean, I can go on and on, because you've done shows like Miami Vice,
Yes,
What's Happening, Saturday Night Live. I mean,
yes.
you just go... I mean, you just have to come back another time.
Okay, let's do a part 2.
We'll do a part 2.
Yeah, Shabba Doo, Shabba Doo Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Shabba Doo 2. There you go.
So I ask my guests these same 2 questions.
Okay.
I don't tell them ahead of time.
Okay.
I believe in language.
Okay.
We can talk ourselves out of stuff. We can talk ourselves into stuff.
Right.
I believe language is very important.
Yes.
So, in the English language, what word do you think we should take out of it or not say anymore?
Hate.
Like that? And what word do you think we should either say more of or bring back into our daily vocabularies?
Love.
Like that. Those 2 things are really underrated.
Yeah, and
right?
you clear up those 2 things,
Yes.
and you'll find that we can reconcile a lot of these issues that we have and disputes that we have with each other and this division in our world. Love opens the door to understanding, and it goes beyond tolerance. I don't like the word
I
tolerate.
don't like the word either. I just said it last
And
night.
tolerance doesn't mean that you accept anything.
No, it sure doesn't.
I mean, I'm just going to go along with it, but I can
Exactly.
hate you
Exactly.
behind your back.
Exactly.
No, but if you really truly love someone, then you seek understanding. You need to understand how they feel, how they process information, where are they, coming from, then you can, that just by default will eliminate hate. Hate is a misunderstanding.
Yes.
Misunderstanding leads to fear and all kinds of other issues.
I agree.
So love is the first thing that we need. Love. I love you. Maybe I may not even go along with for myself what you want to do, but I love you enough to let you be you and support you in a way that is comfortable for you in your life on this planet. And that's what we need to get to, people. And I really want to say this,
Tell 'em.
Acceptance means understanding. Let's join those 2 words together. Understand doesn't mean that you have to go along with what people do. But if you understand it, then at least you can accept where they're coming from, not where you're coming from. Don't judge anybody. Don't put your feelings and your beliefs on their shoulders. Carry them yourself. Let people live, love, and let live. Let God be the final. Let their own conscience be the final. You don't even have to believe in God. You don't even have to believe that there's an afterlife or any of that stuff that's that's promoted by Christianity and other faiths around the world. But believe that you're part of a bigger picture. That at the end of the day, we can make the world better.
I agree.
By loving each other, and loving leads to understanding. Understanding leads to acceptance. Acceptance leads to peace. Peace leads to prosperity for all.
We're gonna end it right there. That's exactly what it is. I agree with you completely. Thank you, my friend.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Tell folks in that camera where they can find you on social media.
Great. You can find me first. You can find me. Go to my website. My official website is www.shabadoo.com. That's SHABBA-DOO.com. Or you can find me on Facebook. You'll see my official fan page is Adolfo Shabba Doo Quiñones.
Great name. I love that.
And on Twitter. Twitter, that's
yes.
Shabba, SHABBA_DOO on Twitter. So I'll see you. And Instagram, Shabba Doo 1972. There you go. Jesus, with all this.
You got to promote your stuff, okay, folks? That's the way to go. They got to promote everything.
There's always the bathroom wall, too. You can just put, call Shabba Doo.
Exactly, or Starbucks on Hollywood and Vine or something. I don't know, just whatever it is. So, but you can find me at, mine is easy, James Lott Jr. everywhere. You can find me on all social media platforms, Breaking Into Facebook page, BlackHollywoodLive.com on YouTube and iTunes. Subscribe, find the show, find him, share his message, and like it, rate it, tell me what you think, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Peace.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Christie, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African-American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.